in the PLL report for this week, it's a quiet one because it was All-Star Week.
Yeah, that makes sense. 4th of July week.
4th of July did make sense, and I forget that we're already halfway through the season at week 6 here. So
that's a quick season.
It's a pretty short little burst here, yeah. But in the All-Star weekend, East versus West ended 13-15. The victory going to the West. All-Star MVP from your Denver Outlaws, Brennan O'Neill.
I would assume we're in the West, but I don't know who makes these boundary lines anymore.
Yeah, one would hope the logic follows, but yes, we are in the West and had 6 Outlaws represented on the All-Star team this year. Brennan O'Neill, the MVP as a starter, along with Jake Pacino. And then on the reserve list, Brett Kavanaugh, Dalton Young, Ryan Terefenko, and Logan McNaney rounding out your Outlaws on the All-Star docket. The Eastern team did nearly pull this one out. It was looking like a laugher for the first half. They went into halftime 3-12, and then it ended 13-15. Also a pretty terrible second half from the Western half All-Stars. But yeah, so that was the action this week. Kind of low effort, no one injure each other affair out for the All-Star game. We will be back in action in the regular season play next week. The league will be out in Chicago, and the Outlaws will be facing off against the Maryland Whipsnakes, who are 4th in the East right now at 2-3. And looking ahead into the future a little bit, the PLL comes to Denver the weekend of August 1st.
Exciting times here. Bring it home. Be nice. I'm curious. Do they do like little, because they're doing like a little tournament style thing, right? Or
I mean, that's essentially what the league is. Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. So yeah, that is all of my sports report for the week. Do we have any updates from any of your secondary sports report?
Secondary sports report. We are still amidst the FIFA Club World Cup. Got bad news for the fans out there. Man City did not make it in. They did end up dropping to Al Hilal. First round there, did they not make it out of round 16, even though they are one of the better teams in the tournament. Al Hilal is, of course, over there in Saudi Arabia, who have been known to pay some big players some big money, and seems to have worked out. They did end up taking this victory from Man City on Monday, 4-3. PSG, like we talked about, did make it in. Bayern ended up playing, I think, later in the evening on Sunday, also made it in 4-2. Real Madrid beating Juventus, which is a big matchup, 1-0 there. And Dortmund on Tuesday beat Monterrey. So that takes us out of the round of 16. Good enough, luckily enough for us. The quarterfinals are already finished because we're running out of football games to watch and play, and they can only play them on so many days. So yesterday we saw Chelsea beat the Italian team, the Palmeiras, and Fluminense upsetting Ahly. So the Brazilian team there from Brazil, very, very exciting. Like I said, the Brazilian football has been going crazy out there in, well, wherever it's getting played here in America, but out in the FIFA World Cup Championship. And PSG takes the victory from Bayern 2-0, and Real Madrid beats Dortmund 3-2. So that leaves us with our semifinals of Fluminense against Chelsea, who you have recently supported in the past, way back in the past.
I'm still pulling for them. Let's go Chelsea.
And then we have the huge matchup of PSG versus Real Madrid. The Chelsea and Fluminense will play on Tuesday, and Real Madrid will play on Wednesday. That will be our semifinals, and then we'll have a final next Sunday for the full championship where they get the adorable little trophy. And some notes to be said here. This one was a little sad. I think it was the PSG and Bayern game where we saw one of their players go down, allegedly, potentially with a broken leg. Not the tournament you wanna break a leg in, because really this means nothing for most teams.
Yeah, bad business decision.
Yeah, don't know what happened or why. I guess it was just a goal. It was a goalie and a player tangle up, and just was bad. No one was happy about it, naturally. But that is the news from the FIFA World Cup. Next time we come to you, we may have a champion. We will have a champion because it's going to be on Sunday at 1 p.m. and probably should record after that, but
You never know. Sometimes we come to you early.
sometimes we come to you early. But if I was a betting man, which you shouldn't go with me because my bet is already wrong, seeing how Man City didn't make it out, who? I'm stuck. The PSG and Real Madrid.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea has a lot on their hands because it just seems to be the way the Brazilian gods rain down on football. And if Fluminense can beat Real Madrid, Chelsea, I don't know if they stand a chance because I know, or not Real Madrid, Man City, because Man City is way better than Chelsea. But Chelsea might be
in a regular setting in the Premier League, but in this nonsense means nothing tournament,
in American.
This is where Chelsea
in
takes
this American
over.
soccer.
Yes.
Showdown, which is hilarious.
In this nothing exhibition tournament for no stakes, this is where they're going to come.
You get a trophy.
Okay.
People like trophies.
Not no stakes.
People like trophies.
That's true.
Nice, fancy trophies. But the PSG and Real Madrid one, I think, is the toughest one. If I had to guess, Real Madrid should maybe advance. They have just the better team overall. They spend the most money overall, so that'd be my guess there. And I'm gonna root for the Brazilian team and Fluminense over Chelsea, unfortunately, because I'm tired of seeing the same teams win again. And this could be the spark of Brazilian football up for a lot of football fans. Like I said, potentially there might be the world sport here in football. Potentially there might be some more eyes on this tournament from around the globe, in the Europe, the Italy, Latin America, all the places that are really not us or Canada or Australia who play football as their first love. Get some eyes on the Brazilian league, so that's always cool and nice. We like to see the little upcomers as the little upcome podcast ourselves.
Sure. Although Brazil's had a lot to cheer about in the soccer world for a bit.
On a national level. Like I said, so it's crazy to me, right? When we're talking about football, the meaning of like national level play for each of the players is completely on a different level, except for I don't want to say America on this 4th of July weekend recording, but yes, America does not have the same sort of patriotism, I guess is what you would call that, for going to compete for your nation. I don't think that's true, and I think that's true in like probably every sport for the most part, except when it really matters in like World Cup time for America or the Olympics when we're going to hockey.
Yeah, when gold medals are up for grabs, then Team USA locks in, and not a moment before.
Yeah, and Summer Olympics, no, not really. At least in the basketball world, we have enough great basketball players that you could create a super team with a number of them.
Mm-hmm.